Life.
Hey loves, I'm stopping by really quickly just to let you guys know about my new merchandise that I recently put out. You guys asked and I delivered. You can now pick up your Pick Me Nation t-shirts, you guys. I also have Winter is Here merchandise. And I also have Who You Want, Gotta Want You t-shirts as well. So make sure you go and support. It is the holiday times. Definitely go pick up a shirt or a mug for your mother, your fathers, your sisters, brothers, your husband, wife. Make sure you go and support. I have those shirts available now.
Black women don't deserve to be a wife. At 40, I'm still learning how to unlearn behavior. And I never saw a man in the household, ever, as a husband figure. We need grace to learn. We're learning and we're trying. We're trying to turn our masculinity down and turn you up. But have our back too.
I'll say this, and I'll give her credit for at least admitting that she didn't see a father, she didn't have a father in the home. She probably never saw a stable family structure with a healthy relationship between a mother and a father in the home. So, and a lot of Black women, a lot of us grew up with that. But I think I will give her some credit to because she's at least acknowledging that, which some won't even acknowledge that and accept that is part of the problem. But I'll give her that. But at the same time, sometimes you got to wonder though, how much grace are you looking for from the men? And it's going to be very difficult for women to get this grace from men because men have not had grace from women. Men have not really gotten any grace from the women who are looking for that now. And that's going to be very hard because when you've, put a group of men down and you really didn't give them any grace or empathy or anything for the things that they've been through, just like you've been through certain things. And now that men are moving and they've made their minds up as to how they want to move, and it's away from Black women, which is sad within itself. In order for Black women to really get grace from men, you really have to put in the work. There really has to be a lot of effort and work put into you actually change it to where they can see it has to be tangible, visible, real change. And I think that's the part I don't know if a lot of women want to do, because I think men are more men are beyond the point of, oh, just listen to your words. Oh, you just give us some grace and give us time to get it. How is that going to look? I know that it takes a long time to change your ways. When you've been raised and you've become accustomed to a certain way of life and a certain way of thinking, it is super hard to just change that overnight. That takes a lot of healing, a lot of mentoring, a lot of, getting rid of your old habits and ways of thinking. That's not always easy. That just doesn't happen overnight. And if you're asking for grace from Black men, it's going to be difficult because that takes a lot. Especially coming from a group of women who say they're dusties, they're the bottom of the barrel, you don't want them, they're bullet bags, you don't care if they're deleted and taken out of here. And I don't think this is all women who are saying this, but the representation of the women who have said this is at the forefront of all of this. And where I think we need to start checking the women who say these things about all Black men. I think it's going to take for women to hold other women accountable when you hear this type of rhetoric, to start letting them know that this is not the representation of all Black men and this is not how all Black men are, and start to help to shift the narrative and not agree with these women who put these men down, because that's going to continuously promote a perspective that does not bring about unity. It's going to continue to divide Black women from Black men. So I think in this instance, it's not just about a singular person. It's about holding other women accountable. Start speaking out on these things when you hear women saying, oh, we just need a man for this and that. He need to do this. We need to hear more women speak out against that type of behavior, because that is not helping. And thank God we are starting to see some women push back against that, to let the young women, the younger generation, know that this is not how you go about this. Putting down a whole group of men because you expect them to do certain things that you heard of, and not wanting to put in work to work with them, is not a recipe for success. That's a recipe for disaster, and that's what we see happening. So I think for women to get the respect of men and to bring Black men back into the fold, and start to get men to trust them, you're gonna have to earn that trust. You ain't gonna be able to just sit around and do nothing and just say, oh well, black men just gotta pull themselves up by their bootstraps and they just gotta do it all, while you just sit back and watch and wait for, the unfolding, and wait for them to get it all together, and then you just show up. No, it's not gonna work like that. And this idea that, oh, you want a man at the finish line all put together is ridiculous when you're not put together yourself. And we got to stop thinking that money is the end all be all, that, oh, if you can make some money, that you're all put together and you're such a great person. That is so far from the truth. I don't know how many times I have to say that. And I think these women really have made themselves more delusional, thinking that, oh, you're everything since sliced bread because you got a job. No, your job don't make you end all be all. That don't make you a perfect person because you could make some money. No, there's more to a relationship than just that. That financial aspect is really not what you should be focused on when you're trying to build a relationship with a person. So you have to first learn how to respect black men, and you have to learn how to work with them and be able to communicate better with them. Because I think the problem that we have in our community and other communities as well is that people don't know how to communicate. You've been taught to disrespect and dismiss black men to the point now you don't even know how to hold a conversation with them without disrespecting them. And so if we're gonna start somewhere, you got to start with learning how to communicate and talk to people and how to have respect for them and not just think that you could walk all over them and just treat them any old kind of way. They're supposed to yield you as this queen and this, everything under the sun in a great way, but you just could talk to them and treat them like they're nothing. And we got to admit that is happening. And that is how a lot of women regard black men. They don't have a high regard for them, but you want them to have the highest regard for you. And when you don't get that type of treatment from them, somehow they're still the problem. So I think in order for black men to give you grace, you got to start with giving him grace. You got to set the example of what you would like to see. It starts with the women, because this idea that men need to lead, no, there are men who are leading their households, but they already have a household. See, he's not who you're checking. Those men already have wives, they already have families, they already have households that they are leading. We're talking to the rest of the men that are left out here who are single, who would love to have families, who would love to have a woman, but he doesn't want to tolerate disrespect. And you belittling them and treating them horribly because you feel like you're better. So we got to start there. And that's not going to start. You have to. And this is something that a lot of women have already stated that they will not do. They don't want to work for a man. They don't want to compete for a man. So how do we know that these women want to prove to these men that they are better and that they are working on themselves? They can't give you grace if you're not really showing that you are willing to do what's necessary to work with them. It's too much hostility. It's too much foolishness out here. It's too much disrespect for black men just to say, oh, okay, this is what you were saying, so we're just supposed to fall in line and just believe you and just oh yeah, so the black women, they're better now, let's just go over and let's just get because they understand that that's not the truth. They understand that it takes a lot of time to change. There's a lot that they have to do. It's not just about what you say, but it's about what you do. It's your actions. Actions speak louder than words. You just can't come out here and just say you're doing something and you want all this grace, but you're not really prepared. You're not really prepared for what is needed to have healthy, stable relationships if you're not healthy and stable within yourself. And I'm not talking about finances. That's the thing. People always like to throw money in. It's not that. Mentally, what's up here? What's going on with your mental? Are you emotionally intelligent? Do you have the stability to be able to be a mature person, to know how to deal with consequences or deal with conflict or, deal with things that arise when it comes to dealing with another human being? Are you able and capable of loving someone? Because you'll find out that a lot of people are not, because they didn't have that love growing up. They didn't have fathers to show them what it feels like to have a loving man in their lives. A lot of them didn't have loving mothers. Money has nothing to do with love. Love is just love. That's why you can love somebody when they broke. You can love them if they have money. You can love them if they don't. You can love them in any, you can love somebody that's flawed. Somebody who has some issues they got to work through. You still love them because you love them just because. There aren't any conditions when it comes to love. But there are a lot of people out here who are not looking for that. They say they want a good man. You want a relationship. You want to be married. but you don't really want love. You don't really want that because that is unconditional. There shouldn't be any conditions on it. And when you have conditions on it, is it really love, or is it just infatuation, or is it just that you just want somebody who could take care of you? So yeah, so once again, I'll take it back. Listen, before men, in my opinion, and y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, before men can have this grace for you, you have to have grace for them. You have to undo the hurt and the pain that you caused prior to all of this. All of the negative rhetoric that's been put out here that is causing men to walk away. Y'all gonna have to fix that. That's what women are gonna have to fix. Men gonna have to deal with other issues that they have, but women are gonna have to deal with this. If you really want to work something out with Black men, y'all gonna have to do y'all part. That's how I feel about it. Listen, but y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Comment, like, subscribe. Y'all chime in the comments. Let me know if you agree or if you disagree. What's your thoughts on it? Let me know. I want to hear from you, and I will see y'all in the next one. Bye. DeeDeesReactions.